Ladies and gentlemen, and my dear friends, welcome to Tata Crucible, the Campus Quiz 2021. This year, the Campus Quiz is going to be an entirely digital experience. Thousands of you have been part of the preliminary rounds, from which we are now down to the 24 cluster rounds. The stage is set, and it just does not get bigger than this. Presenting the wild cards at the cluster rounds is the only lady professional quiz host across Asia, a lady who was among 40 under 40 in the year 2020 in that list. A prolific host, no new face to Tata Crucible. Time for you to welcome on stage Miss Rashmi Furtado.
Hello ladies and gentlemen and all you enthusiastic quizzers. Welcome to Tata Crucible Campus Quiz 2021. I have our contestants here with me who are ready to take part in the first wild card of the Madhya Pradesh cluster. We will be identifying the ones who would be qualifying to the cluster final here today. So let me quickly introduce them and then get into the rules of the game. First up, we have Kaivalya from IIM Indore. Following him is Pranay from IIM Indore. Kopal from IIM Indore. Following her is Mradul from SGSITS. Up next is Shreyan from IIM Indore. And completing our lineup here today is Bela from IIM Indore. IIM Indore is dominating this wildcard here today, but 3 of them qualify to the cluster final. And let's see who those 3 are. The rules of the game: +1, -1, the scoring pattern. And like I mentioned, 3 out of the 6 of them will qualify to the cluster final. For all you audience, the audience questions will be asked during the cluster final. And also the buzzer highlight, the light that appears for the buzzers would not be appearing for this wild card. However, I would be announcing the name of the person who has pressed the buzzer first. Rest of the rules have been explained to the contestants already. So let's get straight into our questions here today. The first wild card of the Madhya Pradesh cluster. Guys, you know the rules, you know the scoring pattern. Good luck to all of you. Question number 1, here we go. The first logo of which company had a portion of William Wordsworth's poem running around the border? It read, Newton, a mind forever voyaging through the strange. Kaivalya on the buzzer. Go ahead, Kaivalya.
I would go with Apple Incorporated.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. Apple gives him the +1. If you go back and see the initial logo of Apple, poem is running across the logo. All right. Question number 2. Here we go. ELF Cosmetics is an international cosmetic brand based in New York City. What does ELF stand for? Very, very simple, guys. I said cosmetics, ELF. You would be using the cosmetics in these areas. Oh, all right. 5 seconds of time is up. Guys, it's very simple actually. I wouldn't randomly ask you about any cosmetic brand. It is eyes, lips and face. Eyes, lips and face. That is why I said you would be using the cosmetics in these areas. Moving on. Question number 3. Here we go. Hyperlapse is an app launched by which photo and video sharing service? Or should I say photo and video sharing social media platform? Pranay, go ahead.
Yeah, it's Microsoft.
Oh, -1 on that, Pranay. I gave you a clue saying it's a social media platform. Instagram would have given you that +1. That's the reason I gave you that clue, so you wouldn't go astray with the question. However, no problem. You have a couple of more questions to go. You can negate that -1 that you have. Question number 4. Here we go. Which company owns Costa Coffee? A huge global beverage brand, better known for their beverages. Let me put it that way. Huge. Pranay again, go ahead.
The Coca-Cola company.
+1. Absolutely right. Coca-Cola giving him that +1 and has quickly negated the -1 that he had. Wonderful. Moving on, question number 5. Doors are always opening. Which famous brand says this? Think about a service that is essential to commute. Or, all right, 5 seconds of time is up. I said an essential service to commute. Uber. Uber would have given you that +1. Doors are always opening. And I said commute. I thought you would be able to connect. Anyway, let's move on. As of now, I only have Kaivalya on +1. Many others need to score for that 3 spots to be secured at the cluster final. Question number 6. Here we go. Mr. S. Ramadurai, who was the advisor to the Prime Minister of India for the skill development, was the CEO of which Tata company? Oh, this is easy, guys. Are you all getting too stressed about the quiz? Pranay, go ahead.
It's Tata Elxsi.
-1 on that. Pranay, TCS. Ramadurai was the CEO of TCS. I think you got a little mixed up there. TCS would have given you that +1. Moving on, question number 7. Here we go. Have you dash dash today? Fill in the blank in the context of insurance. All right, I'll give you options. I'll make it easier for you. Sun Life or MetLife? Oh, time's up, guys. Bela, I'm very sorry you pressed the buzzer when I said the time is up. After I gave you all the options, you took too long to press the buzzer. The answer is MetLife. Have you met life today? That was the tagline or the ad campaign that they had I think some time ago. I can't really remember the timeline correctly. Moving on, question number 8. 3 more questions remaining, and Kaivalya actually looks good on +1. If he does not ruin it for himself, it is, I think, safe to say he's made it to the cluster final. He's smiling there. I don't think he's going to try pressing the buzzer. Moving on, question number 8. Kunal Bal and Rohit Bansal founded which company? Flipkart or Snapdeal? Shreyan, go ahead.
Snapdeal.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. Snapdeal giving that essential +1 to Shreyan. Moving on, question number 9. Jiffy, a GIF company, was acquired for about $400 million. Identify the giant that bought Jiffy. A social media giant. Oh, guys, I said social media giant. All right, 5 seconds of time is up. Facebook. It's as simple as Facebook. That would have given you that much needed +1. The last question of this wild card. Here we go. Which social cataloging website launched in January 2007 by Otis Chandler and Elizabeth Chandler was acquired by Amazon in March 2013? Oh. All right, no one is willing to take that chance. All right, time's up, guys. The answer, Pranay, you're a little too late on this. I'm sorry, I said time's up. The same rule applied to Bela as well a couple of questions ago. The answer I was looking for is Goodreads. Goodreads would have given you that +1 had one of you taken the chance. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as of now, I have Kaivalya and Shreyan both on +1. Both from IIM Indore securing their place in the cluster final. Congratulations to you guys, but however, I have to identify the person who will secure that 3rd spot in the cluster final. So Kopal, Mradul and Bela, all 3 of you are on tiebreakers. Pranay, I cannot allow you to take part in the tiebreaker because you're already on -1. I'm very sorry. Had you been on nil, I could have allowed you to take part. Kopal, Mradul, Bela, the 3 of you are on a tiebreaker. Sudden death, guys, 1 spot remaining in the cluster final. One of you gets it right, you move into the cluster final. One of you gets it wrong, the other 2 will continue to fight it out in the tiebreaker. Okay? Good luck to you. Who did Steve Ballmer succeed as CEO at Microsoft? You cannot not know Microsoft and not know this guy. That is not possible. Mradul, go ahead.
Satya Nadella.
-1, Mradul. Bill Gates. Bill Gates. I said it's not possible for you to know Microsoft and not know this guy. Bill Gates is almost synonymous to Microsoft. I thought that was a good clue. I mean, I could see Shreya nodding there. I think he figured the answer. All right, let's move on. Mradul is now out of the tiebreaker, and I have Kopal and Bela on the tiebreaker now. Good luck to both of you. Okay, I'm looking for a good question here. All right, here we go. Tomco was a company that was a part of which group? I'll give you options. The Tata Group or the Birlas. Bela, go ahead.
The Birlas, I guess.
Oh, -1 on that, Bela. Tatas are the ones who own Tomco. In fact, Tomco was the one who started Lakme. Way back, I mean, I'm ages ago, I can't even remember how many years ago, but they were the ones who started Lakme. All right, never mind. Now we have Kopal joins Kaivalya and Shreyan to the cluster final. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. We have identified our first 3 cluster finalists from this wild card. You don't go anywhere. The second wild card is coming up, so stay tuned. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, all you quizzers. Welcome back to Tata Crucible Campus Quiz 2021. We will now start the second wild card of the Madhya Pradesh cluster. We have already identified our first 3 finalists for this cluster. Now it's time to identify the second 3. Let me introduce our cluster, or rather our wild card contestants to you, and then get into the game itself. First up, we have Rishabh. He's from Astral Institute of Technology in Indore. Following him is Ajwad. He's from Triple ITDM Jabalpur. Following him is Aditya from Aishar in Bhopal. Up next is Vedant from IIT Indore. Following him is Saurabh from IIM Indore. And completing our lineup here today is Tanishq from IIM Indore. All right. Good luck to all of you guys. +1, -1, the scoring pattern, and 3 out of the 6 of you will qualify to the cluster final. Remember that. Good luck to all of you. Here we go. Question number 1. Which brand gets its name from peer-to-peer networks in the sky? Rishabh, go ahead.
Skype from Microsoft.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. Skype is peer-to-peer networks in the sky. Moving on. Question number 2. Here we go. Larry Ellison is the founder of which great brand? Vedant, go ahead.
Oracle.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. +1 on that. Moving on. Question number 3. Here we go. Carrot cake, Valentine lava, conversations, and springtime are all kisses from which brand? Ajwad, go ahead.
I'll go with Hershey's.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. These are all the flavors of Hershey's Kisses, one of the very nice chocolates that we have from Hershey's. Moving on, question number 4. Here we go. Which Japanese company co-founded by Akio Morita derives its name from the Latin word for sound? Aditya, go ahead.
Sony.
Could you repeat that, Aditya?
Sony. SONY.
Absolutely right. Sony giving him that +1. All right, moving on. Question number 5. The whole world steps aside for the man who knows where he is going. In which brand's ad campaign would you find these lines where the man keeps walking? Ajwad, go ahead.
I'll go with Johnny Walker.
+1 to you. Keep walking, I think, was a very good clue there. Johnny Walker giving him that +1. And Ajwad is already on +2. Honestly, after this many wildcards, I think it's safe to say that 2 is a good score to qualify to a cluster final, but multiple of them are scoring. So let's see what happens. Moving on, question number 6. Here we go. Which Tata car was sold as City Rover in the UK? Saurabh, go ahead.
Zika.
-1 on that. Saurabh, Tata Indica. Tata Indica would have given you that +1. Moving on, question number 7. Here we go. This company's core product, Taoxiao, spelled Toutiao, is a content platform in China and around the world. What are we talking about? This company is known for... Saurabh, go ahead.
It's by the Alibaba Group. It's a messaging platform, WeChat.
Oh, -1 on that. ByteDance. ByteDance is the answer I was looking for. Moving on to question number 8. Here we go. The Yogakshema building is the headquarters of which entity in the insurance space? Saurabh, go ahead.
LIC.
+1. Absolutely right. LIC giving him that +1. He's trying to negate that -2 that he took. He's back now on -1. Let's see what happens. 2 more questions remaining. Question number 9. Here we go. The campaign of Tata Sampann features which celebrated chef? Tanishq on the buzzer. Go ahead, Tanishq.
Sanjeev Kapoor.
+1 on that. Okay. Right now, we have Ajwad on +2. I think it's safe to say he's made it to the cluster final, unless, of course, he ends up taking a -1 and forces a tiebreaker. But as far as I can observe, Ajwad, I think, has kept his phone far away. I have Tanishq, Vedant, Aditya, and Rishabh all on +1. All right. Question number 10. Here we go. Which toy company that manufactures Barbie dolls and Hot Wheels is named after the founders Harold Matson and Elliot Handler? Saurabh on the buzzer. Go ahead, Saurabh.
Metal.
+1 on that. All right, he gets a +1 on that. Is Saurabh. Ajwad has made it to the cluster final. He's secured his spot. But now we have Rishabh, Aditya, Vedant, Tanishq all on +1. And Saurabh is on nil, but he will not be able to take part in the tiebreaker because he's not up to the same score as the rest of them. I have 2 more slots remaining in the cluster final, and there is a 4-way tiebreaker. So guys, sudden death, I will ask you questions. Ajwad, you can keep your phone away, not a problem. I'll keep asking you questions. One of you gets it right, you secure your spot in the cluster final. If you get it wrong, the remaining continue to take part or continue to fight it out in the tiebreaker. All right? Good luck to all of you. What brand launched at the Sydney Royal Easter Show in 1934 was originally sold in green-colored tins as Nestlé's fortified tonic food? It's a beverage. Come on, Nestle beverage, and I said green packing. You can't miss this. Aditya, go ahead.
Nescafe.
Oh, -1 on that. Milo. Milo was the right answer. All right, so now Rishabh, Vedant, and Tanishq will continue in this tiebreaker. All right. From the world of change management, who is the author of the book, Who Moved My Cheese? Your options? Okay, Rishabh, even before I give the options, go ahead, Rishabh.
Spencer Johnson.
+1 to you. Absolutely right. Spencer Johnson giving him that +1, and he secures the second slot in the cluster final. All right, moving on. One more slot remaining, and I have Vedant and Tanishq on the tiebreaker. Here we go. The design consists of a simple depiction that represents its domination of the land, sea, and air. It is a logo of a very, very famous brand. What am I talking about? Think automobiles. Tanishq, go ahead.
BMW.
Oh, -1 on that, Tanishq. Benz, Mercedes-Benz basically would have given you that 1 point that would have probably given you the last spot. But Vedant, the value of keeping quiet is something he has depicted here today. He has qualified and taken the last spot in the cluster final. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Vedant is the third finalist that we have identified from this wild card. He joins Rishabh and Ajwat into the cluster final. You don't go anywhere. The cluster final is coming up, so stay tuned.
Friends, put your hands together to welcome on stage Quizmaster Big Brain.
Hello and a warm welcome to each and every one of you. You're with me, Big Brain, here today witnessing the Madhya Pradesh final of Tata Crucible for Campuses 2021. After grueling rounds on the internet in the prelims, those two fascinating wildcard rounds with Rashmi, here I am to find one among these six who will go into the nation's top 24. But for the moment, before we go into the winner and to find the winner, let's take a look at who these six are who made it this far at Madhya Pradesh. Qualifying into this final after those grueling rounds here today as our first finalist from IIM Indore, welcome to Kaivalya. Welcome Kaivalya to the final. Neighbouring Kaivalya as our second contestant, also from IIM Indore, is Kopal. Welcome Kopal to this final. As our third contestant, neighbouring her in this final here today, is Shreyan, also from IIM Indore. Here he is. Bringing in some competition for the IIMs who normally tend to dominate this region is Rishabh from Astral. Welcome Rishabh to this final. And giving him company from IITTM Jabalpur is Ajwat. Welcome on board Ajwat. And completing our lineup from IIT Indore here today is Vedant to complete our lineup. Welcome folks. We've met the six contestants. Time for us to start playing this game here today. 100 the value of an answer, one attempt on the buzzer. Whoever hits the buzzer first. You get it right, you get 100. You get it wrong, you lose 100. 5 seconds is all that you get as a window of opportunity to try and answer a question. After 5 seconds, the question time lapses. So, if we are good to go here today with the Madhya Pradesh edition, after having covered southern India, we started with Chhattisgarh. We're now doing Madhya Pradesh as you watch this on Times Now. Time for us to move to the first frontier. Time for our contestants to get swifter. Here it comes. Before we move any further, urge all of you to hold your buzzers up as we're going to start playing this game. Remember, you've got 24 questions to play around with and the first 6 on Get Swifter. Starting with the first one, eyes on your screen, question appearing now. This is a very important independent director on the board of Tata Sons. Who is this extremely important lady in India's business fraternity who is on your screen? 5 seconds of time lapsing. Tough one to start the Madhya Pradesh final. The answer that I was looking for is Farida Kambata. As we move to the next one, tough first one to set the order here on screen. Here it comes. At 100 years, this company gave itself a new logo, a simple stroke of a brush. Which paint? Ajwad's gone for it.
I'll go with Vodafone.
Vodafone will give you a minus here. I said paint and you stopped me at that moment if I'm not wrong. The answer that I was looking for was Kansai Nerolac. Hold your buzzers up as we go to the next one and the third one on your screens. Now, which company would you associate Birdwatch, a new community-based fact checker? Ajwad's going for it again.
This is Twitter.
Well played. He'll recover the ground very quickly that he lost on Kansai Nerolac. 100 to him. As we go to the fourth one on your screens, here it comes. Who's the author of this fantastic book, Think and Grow Rich? It's sold millions and millions. In fact, 15 million. Phenomenal book. Shreyan is giving it a shot. Go ahead, Shreyan.
Dale Carnegie.
Dale Carnegie will give you a minus 100. Is also a prolific writer. But the answer that I was looking for on this one, which is the right answer, is Napoleon Hill. Think and Grow Rich. Minus, he says, oh yes, I should have got that right. The expression says it all. As we go to the next one on your screens, what is happening here? Ajwad is giving it a shot. Go ahead, Ajwad.
This is the pre-budget ceremony where the finance minister cooks halwa for everyone. It's basically a dessert that everyone gets to have before the budget is presented.
So whether the budget is going to be good or not, you first eat sweets and celebrate. Well, very Indian way of celebrating the budget. Well answered, 100 to him. Absolutely correct. He gets that right. As we move to the final one in the first frontier, the game is going in a really brisk pace. On your screen, here it comes. Nothing. Which tech leader? Vedant is giving it a shot.
Kalpay from previously from OnePlus has started the company Nothing. He has partnered with the designer of iPod, and it's a company based in Sweden and US.
All right, I'm going to give you a very fair chance. It has someone else who's extremely important in it.
Kunal from Cred is also an investor on board.
Minus 100 to you. Well, the question that I was going to ask you is, which CEO of Reddit would you associate to this brand is Steve Huffman? And it turns out to be a tough one for you. On that is Vedant, as he takes a negative. For all those of you here today watching this quiz on the internet, let me ask you a couple of questions before I move on to our contestants here today. And what you could do is just type into that text box wherever you're watching this, whether it's irrespective of which social media platform you're on. You get the answer quickly and the Tatas will get in touch with you to give you your prizes. So here's the first one for the audience coming in. Le Corbusier was a great architect. Many of you, even as school students, would have read about him. Which Indian city would you associate to have been designed by Le Corbusier? That's for you in the audience, and let me ask you the next one. On which hill is Rashtrapati Bhavan? Now, it's a nice general knowledge question. I'm not really pushing your business as audience. On which hill is Rashtrapati Bhavan? So, we'll get back to our contestants and to take a look at the scores. On your screen, leading this quiz with 100 is Ajwad. The rest on 0 are pretty good because they haven't taken negatives. The other 3 who are on a minus, the 2 on a minus 100, I'm sure will recover ground very quickly. Hardly anything to tell on the first look at that scorecard as we move to the second frontier, which surely will start making a difference in this quiz as they start playing sharper, quite literally. Here it comes. All right, if you could hold your buzzers up and the first one in this frontier, the scoring pattern remaining the same, coming up now. Which company would you infer from this infographic from a gigantic group in India? Shreyan is giving it a shot. Go ahead, Shreyan.
So Tata Global Beverages, Starbucks Coffee, like the entire chain.
Cleverly played. Well played on that one. He'll get himself, he went roundabout on the names, but he's got the drift right and he gets himself a Tata Coffee. Will fetch him a 100. As we clear the buzzers and go into our next question. Hands on the buzzer. He's cleared that negative that he had. Second one on screen now. Which FMCG giant brings you Dettol? Shreyan going for it.
Reckitt Benckiser.
Well played. He'll get himself 100 on that. These can be those irritating questions. Everyone knows Dettol, but sometimes we don't know which company, and that can be tricky in a quiz. As we go to the third one on your screens, now, which entity large in Madhya Pradesh, Rishabh, off in a flash?
Aisha?
Lovely. He'll get himself 100 on Aisha Motors and keep riding pure is Aisha. Well played. On to the next one on your screens, whose new identity is this? Vedant.
Edge, Windows Edge, the web browser.
Give it to you on that one, Explorer Edge, and you get yourself 100 on that. As we clear that and move to the next question on your screens. Now, Samuel Hopkins of Vermont got the first one in the world. Shreyan.
This is George Washington.
Yeah, but the question was Samuel Hopkins of Vermont got the first one. Minus 100 to you. It was signed by the man on your screen, George Washington. What am I talking about? The answer is the first ever US patent. Wait for me, don't be in a hurry, but I'm minus 100 to him. He's gaining and losing is Shreyan. So somewhere he needs to play patiently and gain a few. All right, on your screens, here's the next one. Now, which brand of tiles? And today, tiles spend a lot of money on brand ambassadors and Shreyan's going for it.
Kajaria.
Everyone thinks tiles and Kajaria. Minus 100 to you. Johnson Tiles is what she endorses, and that's a negative to you. Kajaria Tiles is actually a couple of actors and not actresses. Seventh one in this round. The scorecard is really even, Steven. I see a nervous final unfolding as we go to the next one on your screens. Now, it is essentially a free and open source CSS framework. Ajwat.
This is Bootstrap.
Lovely. 100 to him. Oh, coming from IIIT, Bootstrap should be simple for him. He gets that absolutely right. As we go to the next one, and he moves to 200 from Jabalpur. On your screens, the next one now. TBTF is an acronym which describes a business or a sector deemed to be so deeply ingrained. Kaivalya. What is TBTF?
Too big to fail.
Beautifully answered. Beautifully answered. Too big to fail. That if they actually start failing, governments will consider bailing them out simply because you can't afford to have such giants actually failing for a country. Well played. On to the next one. Careful. I need an overall answer on your screen. Here it comes. Who owns all of these? Vedant.
Is it Cadbury?
Oh, minus to you, Vedant. Think it through, guys. It's not going to be as easy as you think. It looks easy. The answer that I was looking for is Mondelez. Mondelez is the answer that would have given you 100, but this time you take a negative. as we clear the buzzers for you, and your score then reflects a -100. Careful. 3 more to go in this frontier. It could be an interesting score to take a look at. Hold your buzzers up as we go to the next one on your screen now. All of these are owned by a famous FMCG from India. Vedant again.
ITC.
Well played. Oh, he's recovering ground very quickly, but everyone needs to get a couple together in the positives. For the moment, we've got 4 of them really battling hard. As we go to the next one, and on screen, here it is. All of these are areas that this giant in India is into. Home appliances, lighting, automobiles, 2- and 3-wheeler, Rishabh, famous group in India. Iron and
Mahindra?
steel. Yeah?
Mahindra?
Would have been one of the thoughts that would have crossed your mind. Waiting a little less, not waiting for me to finish. The minus is to you. The answer is Bajaj. Bajaj is into 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers, insurance, everything that you can think of, including lighting. And that gives him a negative because he didn't wait for me to get to the names of the people. The final one in this frontier, the teams are playing in a really marathon kind of a huddle. So it can be an interesting final as we come to you from Madhya Pradesh. All right, final question. Here it comes. All of these are part of an entity which is massive in terms of recruitment. Taskmo, Connect with a Q, Work with a Q, Monster.com, giant company, big in the staffing business. Q, your Q in that sense. 5 seconds of time ticking away, no one taking a chance. The answer that I was looking for, Quess Corporation. Shreyan says, hey, I should have got that. All right, to those of you who are with me here today watching this on the internet, before I show you the scores, here's one more question for you. What form of art in India, known to have come from Andhra Pradesh, would you associate to hand-printed and block-printed on cotton textile typically? The name of the art is what you need to key into that text box that you're watching. All right, if you got that ready, we'll go back to our contestants and take a look at the scores. It's like a marathon. It's a low-scoring match. Sometimes it's like these cricket and soccer matches where, you're on 0-0 and the last 5 minutes can be really tense. Similarly, a cricket match where it's low-scoring, you get teams getting all out for 100 and the other could well get tumbled out for 80. So anybody can win this game. Even Shreyan, who's on a -100, has a fantastic chance to bounce back and clinch the title. Remember, only one goes through. As we move to the final frontier of our battle here today, and it's quite literally time for our contestants to think smarter. Here it comes. Well, there are 2 ways to think smarter. One is to outsmart me, the other is to outsmart the other 5. Well, both are possible in this round. How do you outsmart me? Stop me from continuing to read the question by hitting the buzzer. Nothing's going to appear on your screen in terms of clues. I read out the questions. When you think you know the answer and you think you're smart enough to do that, hit the buzzer to tell me, stop reading, pig brain, I know the answer. In the process, you're blocking out the other 5 from being able to answer it. You get it right, you get 100. You get it wrong, you pay the penalty. But you back yourself on your decisions. 6 final questions. One among these 6 will go through to the top 24 of this nation. For now, on the final frontier, the first question. Hands on the buzzer as I read it out. Nothing appears on your screen. Here we go. Established in 2017 by a 3 tech and media combo of guys, Chris Best, Hamish and Jairaj Sethi. It was a newsletter platform that allowed writers and creative type of people to distribute their work at subscription rates. What in this world am I talking about? Five seconds of time ticking away. No one's on the answer. The answer is Substack. Substack became a huge thing across the world. Tough one for the six of them. 5 questions remaining. The pressure is going to start building. Here's the next one. It's a financial entity in India that came up or that comes up with its first IPO in 2021. It's called IRFC. If FC is Financial Corporation, what does IR stand for? Vedant.
Indian Railway.
Indian Railways with a finance corporation? He's got it. Absolutely right. Oh, Vedant needs that 100. He gets that 100. Here's the next one. Hands on the buzzer. Question not on your screen, only from me. Here we go. ZIRP is when a central bank sets a target for short-term interest rates at close to about, unthinkable. The goal is to spur economic activity so that there is low-cost borrowing and greater access to cheap credit, especially for firms and individuals. What is ZIRP if P is a policy? Vedant is giving it a shot. He's got to take some of these chances. I think he is. Yes, Vedant.
Zero interest rate.
A central bank would announce a zero interest rate to promote economy and to kickstart economy. There was a lot of talk that India would probably go that route. Did not, but absolutely well played. Zero interest rate policy is superbly played by Vedant. It takes him to 200. He's putting pressure on Ajwat from Jabalpur. Kaivalya from IIM Indore needs one more answer to be on that same par. 3 questions still to go. Here's the next one. More than 15 years after the privatization of the life insurance industry, this act was passed in 1973. Approximately 100 plus companies amalgamated into just 4 companies headquartered in each of the 4 metros in India. What act am I talking about? Shreyan is trying to make a comeback. Go ahead.
LIC Act of India.
Oh, well, that's a minus to you. He took a shot at it. This is the General Insurance Nationalization Act. India nationalized its insurances, nationalized its banks. It was an era when everything was nationalized. And that led, of course, to National Insurance, New India, Oriental, and I think United India. I might be wrong, but the 4th would be United India in my mind. So, we're going to go to the penultimate question here today, and the last 2 questions are going to literally determine whether it's going to be Ajwat, Vedant, or is Kaivalya going to make a real comeback from here. Penultimate question. Movies, games, competitions, museum parks have all developed for this brand. They are assembled and connected in many ways to constructing objects, including vehicles. Someone's gone for it. It's Kaivalya from IIM Indore. Very crafty question. Yes.
Lego.
Movies, games, competitions, make 8 amusement parks. All these are part of the expansion plans of Lego. Oh, beauty. Beautifully played. The young man from IIM Indore has scored when he had to score. It's like a T20 match now. 1 ball to go. 3 of them from Madhya Pradesh are in the fray. Kaivalya from IIM, Ajwat from Triple IT, and Vedant from IIT. Well, the final question will determine who wins from Madhya Pradesh. Here we go. Final question. Hands on the buzzer. They are well known for manufacturing Ayurvedic medicine and natural consumer products. Founded way back in 1884. Shreyan. What?
Dabur.
All right, he does not like minus 200 and he wants to make that minus 100. But Kaivalya is telling, Yaar, kya kiya tune? You know, it's almost that kind of a typical Madhya Pradesh reaction. But he gets himself 100. Shreyan's playing fair. He says, boy, if I know the answer, I'm going for it. Dabur is absolutely right. That, ladies and gentlemen, leaves us with an interesting scorecard. On your screen, here it comes. Crucible Quotient tells us that we've got a tie and we've got a three-way tie. What a contest. You rarely have a three-way tie. Kaivalya has done superbly well towards the end to make a comeback. Ajwad on 200 has stayed on 200 for too long, but he's got a lovely smile, which is a good attitude to have. Win or lose, keep smiling. At the end of the day, it's a sport. Come on. And Vedant has battled his way, gained, lost, but he's got 200. The tiebreaker will pretty much determine who is going to go through. And you got to be fast. Whoever gets it right wins. Whoever gets it wrong, the remaining two will continue to battle. If you are ready, all three of you, Ajwad, Vedant, Kaivalya, the first tiebreaker question just for the three of you. This gentleman made a lot of money writing books. He was even awarded the Nobel Prize for Literature and made a lot of money. He was also a painter from which he made a lot of money. Who is this British Prime Minister? Crafty one. Kaivalya is giving it a shot. Go ahead, Kaivalya.
Winston Churchill.
Was a painter? Was a Nobel laureate? Kaivalya from IIM Indore, his courage will take him to the next round. Superb! Oh! He's won it on sheer guts. Oh boy, if you take half chances, you got to consult Kaivalya for half chance consulting. He took his chances and fortune invariably favors the brave. Well played, Kaivalya. He took his half chances. He's our champion. Ajwad and Vedant will continue to play because we need a tiebreaker to be resolved for the runner-up position. And it's important because it's a lot of money for a runner-up. And in these conditions, any money is a lot of money in any country of the world today. So here we go to the next one. Let's see who gets this right. Which great company is behind the Barbie dolls? Vedant is giving it a shot.
Mattel.
We'll make him the runner-up here today. Oh, from IIT Indore, he's played well. But I tell you what, from Triple IT Jabalpur, Ajwal really played well. I think he just waited too long and didn't take too many chances. So sometimes you can't be as overcautious as you tended to be. But ladies and gentlemen, in that remarkable final here today, going through to the finale of the 24 of this country with sheer courage from the Indian Institute of Management Indore, it's Kaivalya who bounces back in the end, levels the score, takes the tiebreaker with Sir Winston Churchill and marches into the 24 of this nation. Well, ladies and gentlemen, truly, truly a remarkable battle. It doesn't matter who won, who did not. That's not important. Sometimes it's about that spirit of participation and celebration of knowledge that matters more. And today we are truly delighted as we bring this entire quiz to you on Times Now to have with us a person who's contributed immensely to the world of academics, someone who's been a leader, a stalwart, could have very well been a corporate CEO, but chose to dedicate his life to bringing up the nation through developing of students and institutions. He's not just a teacher in that sense, he's also a great institution builder. Our pleasure and privilege to have with us an authority in India from the Biosciences Division, which many look up to for the future of the world. And currently, he's the Dean of Faculty of Life Sciences at the Barkatullah University at Bhopal. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Vinoy Srivastava. Thank you so much, Prof, for joining us. Truly appreciate your presence. And these are tough circumstances, but life goes on. So what's your message for all these youngsters, sir?
First of all, I am very thankful to Mr. Atul Agrawal, the senior Vice President, Anita Lantin and Preeti Chauhan, that they have invited me as a chief guest of this Tata Crucible Campus Quiz 2021. according to Miss Latin, she told me that 6 participants has participated in this final quiz of MP, and I'm very happy that winner will going to be receive rupees 35,000. This is correct,
That's correct, sir.
and runner will receive 18,000.
That is correct.
Yeah, so just I want to say and message to the student that such type of activity and such type of platform inspire to the student for for the in, for the recent as well as the historical knowledge, because unless until you are not knowing about the history as well as the recent knowledge, because I have seen so many things are coming in daily ways. Suppose you just the Dettol. Yes, I have seen the Dettol. Who is the maker of this Dettol? What is the factory or which company is making? So this is the very interesting quiz. This is the very interesting questions I have seen just now. Where is the capital situated in a hill? So such type of questions, really remarkable questions are there, and I'm very happy that the students they had replied very nicely. And I'm also very happy that such type of this type of activity motivates to the students also, and they shows that the quiz competition is nothing only that is the brainstorming game. I can consider the activity. So how do I know and collect the each and information into in your mind? And brainstorming means just how quick you are going to answer the questions. So that will give you in your life also. And I must congratulate to all the winners. Especially, I am very happy that Mr. Kalyan, who has been the winner. Is correct?
Correct, sir.
Yes, sir.
Kaivalya.
Sorry, Kavalya. Kavalya is the winner. Sorry, Kavalya. I'm very happy that um, you are a winner of this quiz, and I'm also must congratulate to the runner who Vedanta.
That's correct, sir.
Vedant, you are also winner of runner of this team and quiz. And I also congratulate all the participants that at least they have crossed many competition and reaches up to this place. So I also must congratulate. Don't be an harass, because this is life. One will win and one will be naturally is not going to win the match anywhere. Suppose a match, a cricket, yeah, anything you will say. So then this time you can say the one will be the winner and another is the loser. So don't say the loser. I don't want to word to use. The loser wins and then always loser. But yet when you are not win the match here, you are not competed at the stage. But even though you have done very nicely, and I also pray to God, and I will also pray that you people will do much better, so that you can always become a winner of uh, matches. Yeah, you consider in your life also, and as well as you also in your nation. So, with few words, once again I congratulate Mr. Kanya, Kavilya, and Vedanta for winning of this quiz team. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. We'll just ask you to stay as we give them their prizes digitally. The runner-up here today, Vedant from IIT Indore, he receives a cash prize of 18,000. And congratulations to you, Vedant. Well done. And he certainly got many years of quizzing ahead of him at a Tata Crucible. As we move on to our next contestant who emerges the champion, sheer guts leads him to glory. He's in the nation's top 24 from IIM Indore. Kaivalya, our champion. Well played. Extremely well played. And he gets himself 35,000 as our champion and marches into the next round. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for taking time off to join us. Truly appreciate your time and your presence at Tata Crucible. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you to all of you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, what a finale that was. It really went down the wire to the end. And at the end of the day, it was sheer courage, grit, and determination that takes Kaivalya from IIM Indore into the nation's top 24. Not a bad effort at all by Ajwad of Triple IT from Jabalpur, while Vedant really made it his own in that tiebreaker to win himself the runner-up title. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back with you with another final as we slowly progress up this nation. But for the moment here, these are our contestants who've done exceedingly well today, with Kaivalya going through. From my young colleague Rashmi, from me, Pick Brain, you were watching Tata Crucible. Thank you for tuning in. Goodbye.